Hi, Dr. Becca here. I wanted to take a minute and talk about the difference between teaching and testing and why they're important that they're different. So, teaching is about there not being an expected response from the learner. So, maybe we are working on teaching a kiddo about animals, okay? And so this is one of the activities that we're playing with. I can use this for testing, but I can also use it for teaching. And so teaching, maybe we're going through it and I turn to this page and I'm teaching, I'm just labeling. And when I say just, that makes it sound like it's not important. It's actually super important, right? So there's a pig. Pigs go oink, oink, oink. There's a cow. Cows go moo. Cows are black and white. Here's another pig. Two pigs. 1, 2. This is a barn. The barn is red. The barn is where the animals live. Right? So I am describing on this page what is here. I'm labeling the different animals. Maybe I'm labeling the color. I'm labeling how many. I'm labeling what the different structures do, right? So if I'm targeting animals, then I'm probably going to label the animals, maybe the sounds they make, the colors they are. Maybe if we're talking about things that go together, that's one of the child's targets of programming. Maybe I'm also going to say, right, that this is the barn and the cow goes with the barn because it lives in the barn, right? And this is water. And water is blue, right? So if I was targeting colors, I might say the water is blue, the sun is yellow. The trees are green. The barn is red, right? I'm teaching. There's no expectation that the child respond. I'm giving instruction. I'm teaching them. I'm labeling for them the items that we're working on in something different, right? So I'm not asking them what color is this or what color is this, but I know that we're targeting colors for tests. So if we're targeting that for testing trials, I need to really be sure that I'm teaching the child what those are. And I want to draw attention to them all around us. So maybe if I'm in this room, I'm saying, that wall is orange. This water is blue. And then maybe we're playing with a different picture of these, right? And so these are all green. This is dark green. This is dark green. This is light green. These are all green, right? So I'm drawing attention to the colors all around me during session so that when it's time to do a teach task, right? So maybe here's the teach task, right? I say, what color is the grass? What color is the tree, right? That is a teaching, or that is a test trial, because I'm expecting a response from the learner. But the learner has to know what it is. And we do that by teaching. So another example could be, so with colors, I'm naming the colors of everything, right? So this is green, this is red, this is black, right? We want to do that in a bit slower language that's developmentally appropriate. And then maybe I pull out our colors and I say, show me green. They've just had multiple exemplars of green. We've been looking at colors all around the world around them, and then we're going to test it, right? So there's a difference between teach and test. And when we test, there's a teaching component there too, because we are either giving the praise or reinforcing a correct response or using error correction to prompt towards a correct response. But that alone is not enough for our learners to to understand, to learn, to gain mastery over the items that are new and not yet mastered. So we want to be sure that for all targets, so let's say we have a kiddo who's working on colors, clothing, right? The name of clothing and patterns. If we're working on those three things with that learner during our session, I want to be drawing attention to all of the colors around me or all of the clothing. I'm going to label that on other people. As we're reading books, I'm going to say that person's wearing a blue shirt, right? Or those are pants, or my pants are black, or so-and-so's pants are yellow, right? So we want to be labeling these things, or patterns we might want to, we're coloring, and maybe I'm coloring a pattern. I said, this is a pattern. It goes circle, square, circle, square. That's a pattern. Or anytime we see patterns, we want to draw attention to it. We're drawing attention to these concepts in the world around the child. So again, that multiple exemplars are getting lots of exposure to this. So then when we go to test, we're clear that we've given enough instruction, that the learner has some understanding about what these concepts are, and then we can enhance that test with more learning, right, in the feedback, whether it's reinforcement for a correct response or error correction for an incorrect response. It's super important that we are doing both the teaching and the testing. That will help set our kids up to gain greater mastery and helps to ward against things like memorization. So if we are using a variety of items to test with, and we do that too early, we're introducing error. So if the program says, use these cards for now, use those cards for the test, you can teach with whatever item, all the items, right? But not the test. The test is just with those cards. And then once it's mastered with the cards or a specific set of stimuli, then the program will change and it'll say, use a variety of materials to test. But if we're not there yet, we don't want to introduce noise in that data, right? Or introduce error, because we have to control for as many variables as we can. So you can teach with whatever items you want that match up with that concept or that domain or that skill or behavior. But when it comes to the testing, you really need to use the materials that are set for that. And then when we're moving towards mastery, part of generalization is testing with a variety of different objects and items and activities, but we can't move there too quickly. So again, I hope this video was helpful in talking about the difference of teach and test, and to explain that both are required and how they're required, and when it's okay to move on to different materials. If there's any other questions, let me know. Thank you.